أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. واعتصموا بحبل الله جميعا ولا تفرقوا. واذكروا نعمة الله عليكم إذ كنتم أعداء فألف بين قلوبكم فأصبحتم بنعمته إخوانا وكنتم على شفا حفرة من النار فأنقذكم منها. كذلك يبين الله لكم آياته لعلكم تهتدون. ولتكن منكم أمة يدعون إلى الخير ويأمرون بالمعروف وينهون عن المنكر وأولئك هم المفلحون. ولا تكونوا كالذين تفرقوا واختلفوا من بعد ما جاءهم البينات وأولئك لهم عذاب عظيم.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه ومن استنى بسنته واهتدى بهديه إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد, dignitaries, invited guests, distinguished imams here present, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I wish to reiterate a very big welcome to all of us to attend this august occasion, this dawra, this gathering of imams, to come at this juncture of the existence of this initiative committee of FCT Imams, the Committee of FCT Imams Initiative, after 17 years of its existence and inauguration, and 17 years of continuous and generous gifts that it has given to our community. It is indeed an august occasion, and I reiterate my very big welcome to you all. This event is august in its kind because it brings together representatives, imams from the 19 northern states and the FCT. Indeed, the role of imams in our community, in our nation, as what they call gatekeepers to the conscience of the nation, as well as emblems of security and development of our nation. To bring together these noble faces in this hall, it is indeed a great achievement. We are going to listen to a number of papers that will be presented, and then we'll find time to have free discussion over the issues that center around the theme of the conference, which is imams as fought to the nation and nation building. I hope I said it right. Unity of imams as a fort to the ummah and a secured nation. This morning, the event this morning is going to be the presentations of 2 papers and hearing goodwill messages from our invited guests. And then in the afternoon session, there will be the 3rd paper and comments and questions will be taken from the audience, inshallah. But this morning we are going to listen to the papers and the goodwill messages, and any questions or comments, we implore our noble imams to write them down, and then there will be an opportunity for free discussions of the issues that have been raised in the papers. So I will now call upon the chief host, the Minister of the FCT, who is ably represented here with us, to present his remarks and declare this occasion open. It is indeed my single honor to call him for that. Jazakallahu khairan.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وصلى الله على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد, I'm here to stand in for the Honorable Minister of FCT, who has directed me to tender his apology for his inability to be here because of the existence of official job. Hajis Malam Muhammad Musa Bello. The chairman of this occasion, Stars Muhammad Bashir Aliu, members of the high table, with particular regard to the chairman of Imams Kano, who happened to be my headmaster in primary school, Sheikh Nasruddin Adam. He was my headmaster in Pitiano Islam in Gomaja, 73 to 76. His Royal Highness, the Emir of Jiwa, my brothers, Imam that comes from various states of the Federation, and the Imams of Abuja. I say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. It gives me a great pleasure to be in your midst today as you mark the 17th anniversary of this Committee of FCT Imams initiatives. Let me begin by welcoming to the FCT all participating Imams from across the country to this special Dawra. I most sincerely commend the initiative of for consistently working towards bringing together the Muslim Ummah through its successful service in and around Abuja. Your efforts towards bringing together Imams from all over the country, particularly the 19th state of the Federation and the FCT, with a view to fostering stronger unity with the Ummah is laudable. I will go further to fortify the relationship and networking of Imams throughout the Federation. As an administration, we value your contributions in addressing not just security issues in the FCT, but other residents' engagement forum where we needed resident buy for the success of our people-oriented government policies and programs. This we have showcased in our robust partnership with the leadership of the League of Imams, chaired by Dr. Imam Tajuddin Muhammad Bello Adigun. We are particularly very appreciative of the great work put in by the League in our fight to curb the spread of COVID-19 in the FCT. We are aware of the role played by the Imams geared towards seeing that the FCT administration has overcome the pandemic. The theme of this all-important meeting, which is unity of Imams as a force to the Ummah and secured nation, is very apt, especially in the face of our current security challenges in our country. With the quality of papers to be presented and the caliber of personalities presenting these papers, I'm very confident that the outcome of the Dawra be robust and will go a long way towards providing solution to this problem that we are encountering. Here in the FCT, we will continue to partner with all security agencies as well as other well-meaning organizations and stakeholders towards the security of lives and property in the nation's capital, Abuja in particular, and the FCT in general. This is the message from the Honorable Minister of FCT. I wish us successful delivering, and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So I will call upon the first presenter of the first paper, who is well known to all of us, well known at national and international levels, Al-Imam Tajuddin Muhammad Bello Adigun, Jazahullahu khairan, وهو إمام هذا المركز Muslim Community Center, أن يقدم ورقته. وعنوان ورقته هو sorry أنا كوما تورنشكم أنا كوما نعرفكم. Now, the title of his paper is The Importance of Imams Forums, the Committee of FCT Imams as a Case Study. يعني أهمية ندوة الأئمة ونموذج النموذج الذي اختاره هو هذه اللجنة، لجنة الأئمة في العاصمة المقدمة، العاصمة. شوف تأثير السعودية، أقول العاصمة المقدسة إمام. نعم، العاصمة المحروسة بإذن الله. فليتقدم الإمام مشكورا وموفقا بإذن الله. Okay, you have 35 minutes to present. You are the organizer, you know. Okay, 15 minutes of translation. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin. Nabina Muhammadin sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa ba'd. We give thanks to Almighty Allah, who has made this gathering a reality. After giving thanks to Almighty Allah, let me try as much as I could to welcome and recognize our elders and fathers, supporters who are here in this hall with their tight schedule. They find it very, very comfortable to be here with us. The chief host, Alhaji Muhammad Bashir, M&I, Director of Human Resources, FCT, representing the Honorable Minister, Muhammad Bello Musa, who is unavoidably absent. In fact, he told me the nature of what his speech is going to be because of his commitment to be here. But as Allah will decree, he has to be on a very serious assignment that make him to send my elderly brother an imam too to stand in his capacity. Malam Bashir, you are welcome, sir. The host, Senator UK Umar MNI, heavily represented by our own uncle, Alhaji Muhammad Rabiu, the Latin Dusama, Chairman, Finance Committee, Governing Board, MCC. Dr. Bashir Ali, the Chief Imam of Al-Furqan, Kano, who is the chairman of this occasion, who I must always address as one of my teachers and mentors. May Allah continue to increase you in humbleness and commitment to this ummah. Sheikh Imam Abdul Wahid, our father, the chief imam of State House. Whenever we see him in our mix, we always see the president in our mix. You are welcome, sir. Sheikh Nasir Adam, the chairman of Council of Imams in Kano State, who happens to be the headmaster also of the ministers seated. I think he's now representing actually the headmaster of the minister. You are welcome, sir. The GMD, Group Managing Director, I always address him as an imam too, because he plays more than the imam. When imams are playing, he plays with them. When they are there also playing, he's a good captain. Malankiari Kolomele, who is also a potential, very potential member of Annur, the vibrant mosque we have today in the FCT, which we are happy with. You are welcome, sir. I appreciate your coming in with your tight schedule. People used to appreciate all you are doing. May Allah accept your good deeds. And he happened to be also my in-law, because I stay actually in his area. Maybe only Borno people will know why it's called Gori. He knows what I'm saying too. May Allah reward you, sir. Dr. Ibrahim Jalo Jalingo, who is key to this sitting and also representing the chairman of Jibwis, in person of Sheikh Balala Ulau. You are welcome, sir. Dr. Muhammad Kabir Adam, representing our own Imam, the Murshid of the National Mosque. Dr. MG Hamza, the chairman of this mosque of MCC. You are welcome, sir. Alhaji Jalaluddin Arabi, former Palm State House. We appreciate your contributions all the time. The ambassador, Sani Bala, Wambai of Katsina, member of governing board, you are welcome, sir. Alhaji Sani Baba, chairman Usman bin Affan Mosque, Wuse, Zone 2, Abuja, you are welcome. Group Captain L.A. Lawan, Director Islamic Affairs, Nigerian Air Force. He is the director of all the imams in the Air Force. He's also present with us, you are welcome. I expected them to be in their uniform, but they said they don't want to scare civilians. That's why they decided to be in Mufti. The Emir of Jua, who is our father, His Royal Highness, Alhaji Idris Musa, you are welcome, sir. The director, MCC, Alhaji Idi Sali Del, you are welcome. Commando Migdad Gidadu, Chief Imam, Nigerian Navy. He's also the Chief Imam of all the Navy Imams. He came all the way from Lagos this morning. You are welcome, sir. CSP, Dr. Yakubu Alasan, representing the IG. You can see him in his color. You are welcome. Professor Ahmad Bello Dogarawa ABU, who is going to have paper presentation in the evening time. Brigadier General Muhammad Ibn Umar, retired, but not tired. Adeka, from the Nigerian Defense Academy, lecturer there. You are welcome. He's going to present the paper after this one. May I also welcome my uncle, Architect Bashir Haiba, who is a governing board member of this center too. Sheikh Abdurrahman Buhari, Chairman Now Properties, you are also welcome. The representative of the chairman of Annur Center for Islamic Education, in person of Alhaji Abdullah Badamasi, who is heavily represented by our father also, Abdul Qadir Muhammad Talhatu, you are welcome. I have so many names before me, and I'm quite sure the chairman is going to abide with the dictates of the time given to him and to me. Permit me not to mention individuals who are actually my teachers. I can see them one after the other. Let me combine and say the 19 state representatives of imams who are here today. We welcome you. We appreciate you. We ask Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala to use you as vanguards of more commitment to yourself and to the Ummah of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in this country and beyond. With your permission, I will not mention names because they are numerous to be mentioned and they are time consuming. So you are welcome to your city and your capital city, FCT. Except for Burning Kebbi State, whom were in the airport yesterday and the flight was cancelled after we have spent a lot of hours in the airport. May Allah reward them accordingly with all of us. All other states are represented here among the 19 states of northern part of this country, Mr. Chairman, sir. My paper is not bulky. I will not read it. I will go actually talk to the paper. So that since we are discussing with those actually who are intellectuals, those who will comprehend the message much more than the presenter. So it gives me joy that I'll only be opening the pages and probably saying one or two words. And at the end of the day, I'm sure organizers will make sure this paper go around all the invitees. Importance of Imams Forum. Committee of FCT Imams as a case study today. The content of what I'm going to present, inshallah, is going to be quality of a successful imam. Not all imams are successful. Unfortunately, each and every imam is being addressed as an imam. And I'm telling you, after the paper, you understand that if our imams are successful, then there is no point why this nation, which the majority of the nation are Muslims. But unfortunately, when there are some deficiencies, not in the political leadership, but in our own leadership of imams, then automatically you are going to see a number of crises and calamities, as today we are witnessing. We pray Allah Ta'ala to be our guide and assist all of us and then guide us. Importance of imam, brotherhood and unity, role of imams in securing the nation. FCT imams, Abuja as case study. Introduction. Well, permit me to be using imams because the word imam is an Arabic word and the plural is a'imma. But the convenience of English, they use the language as if it is their own. So when you say imam, then you add X to be plural. That is wrong. Unfortunately, the FCT imam also registered with that imams. So permit me to be going wrong and you are going right so that we reach conclusion of success. Imam is an Arabic word which means a leader or a model. Imam is someone who leads Muslim worshippers in prayer. In general sense, Imam is as referred to as the head of the Muslim community, Ummah. The word Imam is found in many chapters of the glorious Quran. Among, of course, is Surah Al-Sajdah. Please permit me to remove Surah Al-Nahl 120. It's not referred to this verse. وَجَعَلْنَا مِنْهُمْ أَئِمَّةً يَهْدُونَ بِأَمْرِنَا لَمَّا صَبَرُوا وَكَانُوا بِآيَاتِنَا يُوقِنُونَ. This is Sajdah. The meaning goes, and we made of them imams who guide by our command when they were patient and they were certain of our communications. Now, I will make an emphasis on these two words. وَجَعَلْنَا مِنْهُمْ أَئِمَّةً يَهْدُونَ بِأَمْرِنَا. These two words in Arabic. Yahadun. It means they are the ones taking the position of the prophets. Because all prophets are imams. A bigger name for them is the Nabi or Rasul, or a greater name. And of course, they are also in classes. تِلْكَ الرُّسُلُ فَضَّلْنَا بَعْضُهُمْ عَلَى بَعْضٍ. So they are not also the same class. But those who are coming behind, since there is no prophet, it is the imams who are being charged with the responsibility of the duties of the prophets. Now, يَهَدُونَ بِأَمْرِنَا, they are guiding, which means they are also in community, they are in group. They are complementing the effort of one another. And this guidance cannot be achieved. Let us underline the word بِأَمْرِنَا. It's not the arm of the imam. It's not the arm of any other influential personality. It is with the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself. Unfortunately, at this point, there are some deviations. Either because of selfish interest, either because one wants to be popular, either because of material. Then the guidance wants to be not with the amrina. This area is key to all our imams, and especially if we want to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with the position He has given us. This guidance shouldn't be from any of your thinking. In fact, the deen is not your own. That's why you are just being used as a vehicle. And the formula to be used for success is designed and clear with no doubt. That's why you are going to see in the next verse also, the same two words are repeated. No repetition in the Quran is meant for joke. It is meant for serious and commitment. So we should get this very area, because a number of imams, not only in this country, miss the role of the game in playing it well. But where these two key points are looked into critically, they are vehicle of guidance, not from their own thinking, but from the revealed command of the owner of the universe, who will continue to exist when all of us here are going to cease from existence. Lamma sabr. Of course, the character and the quality you are going to discuss is among that an imam must be extra patient. That's why the leader of all the imams was the most patient man ever raised for mankind, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But Allah still commanded him to be more patient. Wasbir kama sabara ulul azmi min ar-rusul. He is patient, but he should add to his patience, because there is no success. You will not succeed in leading the ummah while you lack the quality of being patient and perseverance. وَكَانُوا بِآيَاتِنَا يُوقِنُونَ. An imam must be certain, be convinced that what he is leading mankind to is success. When you are halfway convinced, you are going to be weak, you are not going to be bold, you are not going to be actually steadfast. A little complication of materialism will deviate you from the channel. A crowd of your followers will make you to be confused, because originally, from the set go, you are not fully convinced. And that's why other influential bodies will influence you. That's why it's very key to understand وَكَانُوا بِآيَاتِنَا يُوقِنُونَ. They are very certain. They are not among those who are doubting, which means they prefer to go alone than to compromise. And that was the case study of all the messengers. That's why on the day of Qiyamah, some messengers will come with crowd, some with few, because they are certain. وَجَعَلْنَاهُمْ أَئِمَّةً يَهْدُونَ بِأَمْرِنَا again in Surah Al-Anbiya. The same two words I have emphasized on is being repeated like the one we have mentioned in Sajda. So it means it is key for an imam to understand that these words are not being repeated for joke. وَأَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْهِمْ فِعْلَ الْخَيْرَاتِ. We commanded them to be doing goodness. That's the character of the imam. Actually, he was very good. He shouldn't be hostile. He shouldn't be arrogant. He shouldn't be that imam that you cannot actually see and talk to. He should be humble, simple. He should be guiding. People should be happy to meet with him. وَإِقَامِ الصَّلَاةِ وَإِيتَاءِ الزَّكَاةِ وَكَانُوا لَنَا عَابِدِينَ. An imam should have a special act of worship, which makes him differ from even his followers. You should have extra mile worship, based on the Sunnah. That's why Rasulullah have extra worship that nobody can do among us. And that qualify him to be different in terms of ibadah. So when you are an imam and you are lazy in zikr, lazy in istighfar, lazy in nawafil, lazy in everything except the public functions, then automatically Allah will leave you with what you are doing, and then at the end of the day you will be exposed to your weaknesses and you may not succeed in delivering. So an imam should have extra more sunnatic act of worship that makes him close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for guidance and success in delivering his message as an imam. I said earlier I'll just be opening the pages. وَإِذِ ابْتَلَىٰ إِبْرَاهِيمَ رَبُّهُ بِكَلِمَاتٍ فَأَتَمَّهُنَّ قَالَ إِنِّي جَاعِلُكَ لِلنَّاسِ إِمَامًا قَالَ وَمِنْ ذُرِّيَّتِي قَالَ لَا يَنَالُ عَهْدِي الظَّالِمِينَ. The point here is that no az-zalim will be entitled to the position of imama, even in the zuriya, in the progeny of Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. But the case may be when you have imam by name, but the imam Allah is talking about with qualities of imam, you can never have him among those who are unjust. So imam should be ready to make sure he is always maintaining justice. Justice to yourself, justice to your family, justice to your children, to your neighbors, to your leaders, to your followers. In fact, to non-Muslims who are living with you, you must be fair and just to them. Else, you are not qualified to be the imam mentioned by Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him some conditions. Now, here are the qualities of a successful imam: fear of Allah, role model, self-reliance, commitment, contentment, focus and current, self-discipline. An imam is supposed to be extra disciplined. You should know him by his attitude, that yes, he is highly disciplined. When you are an imam and you are also engaged in corruption, at times even in the masjid, then automatically there is problem. Generosity. Most imams today, which was not the case in our ancestors, are not having something concrete doing. And this is the beginning of failure. I always say in our sittings with the imams, who are my elders, that it's better you resign your appointment of imam and go to the market or the farm than to be waiting for somebody to come and disorganize you as an imam. Resign your appointment and go to the market. Allah will not ask you on the hour, why are you not an imam? But he will ask you, why are you not self-disciplined? Why are you not earning? Why are you not taking care of your family? What is the reason? Your being imam cannot be an excuse. Unfortunately, also the followers, little of them knows the importance of imam. If not, if his position could have been known, then with honor and respect, his needs could have been taken care of. But where that is absent, it is not an excuse for an imam to be waiting for somebody to give him zakat, or to give him sadaqat, or to give him gifts. Generosity here does not stop on you taking care of your needs, but imam should extend the generosity to his followers so that they will see. In our mosque, mostly, when imam said, fi sabilillah, give fi sabilillah, boxes are going around fi sabilillah, hardly will you see imam putting on his back pocket and removing 5,000 naira and put it in the fi sabilillah. His own is just to say fi sabilillah and then he relaxes. Imam, when you say fi sabilillah, give your fi sabilillah. That is generosity. And you can do it. When you are not generous, automatically you are not going to be actually brave. You can't be courageous. We are not saying you should give the highest money, but you should participate. Because Allah has mentioned participation in giving in numerous verses. الَّذِينَ يُنْفِقُونَ أَمْوَالَهُمْ بِاللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ سِرًّا وَعَلَانِيَةً فَلَهُمْ أَجْرُهُمْ عِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ وَلَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ. So Imam should not only recite, but he should implement generosity. Generosity of face, generosity of talking, generosity of welcoming, generosity of respecting. It's not all about money. That doesn't make you compromise. When you honor our royal highnesses, when you honor our DGs, when you honor our elders, our ministers, that doesn't show imam should compromise. The area you specialize on, don't allow any influence to change your stand. That was the nature of the first generation's imam. Sincerity is key to all success. Patience, perseverance, we have mentioned it earlier. Dedication, commitment, knowledge upgrading. You must upgrade your knowledge. When the world is moving, you move along with the world. I have mentioned being current. You should know what is happening around you as an imam. You don't just come and give khutbah the way you want it. You should give khutbah based on the need of that time. Whether political, whether economical, whether aqidah-wise, whether brotherhood. You should be intelligent, you know, that my people has to go along with time. When you just create your khutbah with no relevance, automatically you are not serving the purpose of being an imam. This can only be achieved by upgrading your knowledge. And that's why knowledge is key. That's why the first verses revealed to Rasulullah were centered on knowledge. It's not coincidence. It's calculative. When Allah says, Iqra, Bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq, khalaqa al-insana min alaq, Iqra wa rabbuka al-akram, alladhi allama bil qalam, allama al-insana ma lam ya'lam. It's not coincidence. It tells you knowledge is key. You can't run imamship with your own experience or with all your feeling. No, it must be built on knowledge. That's why Allah is asking, قُلْ هَلْ يَسْتَوِي الَّذِينَ يَعْلَمُونَ وَالَّذِينَ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ إِنَّمَا يَتَذَكَّرُونَ أُولُو الْأَلْبَابِ. You must have it. You don't have option to that. You must be brave. That was the nature of all the messengers. You must be humble. Also, you must pray. Imams must pray for their nation. They must pray for them. In fact, they must pray non-Muslims become Muslims. So it is part of your duty. In fact, you pray for your enemy to be actually your friend. Now, brotherhood. Allah says, إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةً فَأَصْلِحُوا. The essence is that no matter how your iman is, there is tendency you differ in issues. There is tendency also you have clash in some opinions. That's why the issue of sulhu must come. You are aware that Allah qualified those who have been fighting one another with arms as believers. It means it's not a new thing when your brother is saying, this is what I understand, and you are saying, this is what you understand. The only thing is come together. Be able to agree, you must come together. So that each and everyone will listen attentively with sincerity. You are going to have the fact. فَأَصْلِحُوا بَيْنَ أَخَوَيْكُمْ وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ لَعَلَّكُمْ تُرْحَمُونَ. Fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so that you receive Allah's mercy. Now, the case study of the companions whom we are following, all of us, is that Allah gives them stages of qualities that make them to achieve success of unity. Because when that is not, you can be only clapping and climbing and hoping for unity, you will never see it. Allah says about them, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَهَاجَرُوا وَجَاهَدُوا بِأَمْوَالِهِمْ وَأَنفُسِهِمْ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ وَالَّذِينَ آوَوا وَنَصَرُوا أُولَٰئِكَ بَعْضُهُمْ أَوْلِيَاءُ بَعْضٍ وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَلَمْ يُهَاجِرُوا مَا لَكُم مِّن وَلَايَةٍ مِّن شَيْءٍ حَتَّىٰ يُهَاجِرُوا وَإِنِ اسْتَنصَرُوكُمْ فِي الدِّينِ فَعَلَيْكُمُ النَّصْرُ إِلَّا عَلَىٰ قَوْمٍ بَيْنَكُمْ وَبَيْنَهُم مِّيثَاقٌ وَاللَّهُ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ بَصِيرٌ. This verse is giving us the picture of the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the whole lesson here is that they are really brothers. They have the iman, they migrated, they love one another. Their loyalty is the loyalty of what they believe in. Today, a number of imams give their loyalty to their organizations, to their sects, instead of giving the loyalty to the whole Islam itself. And automatically, if imam will do this, then his follower will follow suit. The companions of Rasulullah give their loyalty to the whole ummah. They did not build it on names. It was built on pure iman and action. And it is only the imam who can give us this role model to play. Where imams cannot do this, you cannot expect the ummah to understand. Because not everybody Allah has given the knowledge. And it's not a crime for you not to be an imam, but automatically it's going to be a crime you don't have imam you follow. Who is guiding you with the Quran and the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Now, the companions were one solid ummah. They love one another. They give their loyalty to one another based on the deen and not based on any other thing. So please, let us do the same. And Allah also informed us the same verses that follows in Surah Al-Anfal. وَالَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا بَعْضُهُمْ أَوْلِيَاءُ بَعْضٍ إِلَّا تَفْعَلُوا تَكُنْ فِتْنَةٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَفَسَادٌ كَبِيرٌ. The unbelievers also give loyalty to one another. If you did not do that, then automatically there's going to be fitna. Today is part of the fitna the whole ummah is witnessing. When the whole kuffar will come together to form a force against us, and we will not be able to even form a force of likening and respecting one another, talk less of advancing to confront them, even if it leads to war. When the basic is not there, you cannot proceed to the next level. But the companions were gradual and they have reached the peak. Now, the complaint that the other forces are together has been mentioned in the Quran, so it's not a new thing. A new thing is that what are we doing? Allah said again, وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَهَاجَرُوا وَجَاهَدُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ وَالَّذِينَ آوَوا وَنَصَرُوا أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ حَقًّا لَهُمْ مَغْفِرَةٌ وَرِزْقٌ كَرِيمٌ. This is exactly the summary of the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They have been promised sustenance that will continue forever, which is the Jannah. Now here, after achieving brotherhood, the issue of unity is key. Even if there are some differences, there are some things we must come together, especially in the nature of politics of this nation. Politics in Nigeria today is a game of number. There will be no excuse for Muslims that they will not meet their target of politics in this nation, except when they compromise. Unfortunately, in some states where we have the majority, because we did not agree to agree, then automatically we allow somebody who is minority to be guiding and leading us. We are not saying that Muslims are Democrats, but when circumstances force you to be in it, play the game well. Don't be deceived. Don't be cheated. You will not cheat, because Allah will ask you, why should you allow your right to go in whatsoever name? There will be no excuse for imams when they do not think over this and this. And let me tell us clearly, it is only the imams who are having a minbar, a pulpit, where when they talk, nobody talk when they are talking. Do you know why? So that everybody will be attentive to understand the content and to implement. Even when president is talking, governors are talking, ministers are talking, you can talk. But when imam is talking, a governor cannot talk there. Yes, it is a permission by Allah himself. You find your Juma 0, you go out with actually cursing of the angels. So after having all these rights and positions, it's been mismanaged in a number of times for selfishness, for loving this world which has ended. Which has ended. Most imams are over 40. Now what are you waiting for? And some are even 60. I met one of my senior brothers in Jeddah, a graduate of the University of Medina. He's over 60. Then I crack joke. I do that a lot of times. I said, you are still flowing. He looked at me, he said, yes, but my certificate of death is always in my pocket. A wonderful statement. But at that age, you see people being confused. And imam too. What remains for you is to go back successfully by telling your ummah the bitter truth. وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا وَاذْكُرُوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكُمْ إِذْ كُنْتُمْ أَعْدَاءً فَأَلَّفَ بَيْنَ قُلُوبِكُمْ فَأَصْبَحْتُمْ بِنِعْمَتِهِ إِخْوَانًا وَكُنْتُمْ عَلَى شَفَا حُفْرَةٍ مِنَ النَّارِ فَأَنْقَذَكُم مِّنْهَا كَذَلِكَ يُبَيِّنُ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ آيَاتِهِ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَهْتَدُونَ. Now that is the verse which qualify each and every one of us to stand firm in making sure the ummah is one entity. وَأَنَّ هَذِهِ أُمَّتُكُمْ أُمَّةً وَاحِدَةً وَأَنَا رَبُّكُمْ فَاتَّقُونَ فَأَعْبُدُونَ. Now, here are the roles of imams in securing the nation. It is not true that it's only the security agencies that will give solution to security in this nation. Imams have a very, very big role to play. Unfortunately, even the government did not recognize this. Let me say this black and white without apology. This is not recognized as it's supposed to be recognized. The imams are part and parcel of those who can make the nation to be peaceful, because they have followers who listen to them more than politicians. I'm sorry that the minister is seated. I'm not referring to the minister, so that I will not be packed out of FCT after the program. But the reality is that people have believed in their imams much more than politicians. It's not to underrate their positions. Allah has handed them over. Allah has handed the power to them. We must obey them. But they should not underrate the powers. In fact, let me tell you, if government see deem to be given religious leaders salary so as to maintain peace, it's not too much. When I say religious leaders, I'm talking generally, including non-Muslim leaders. Because they have say, which people are taken very, very serious. And in FCT, I can tell you, we have so many examples of crises and calamities, that when imams give a khutbah, because when there is necessity, we give almost the same khutbah over 75% mosque in FCT, and it will tense and calm the situation. A politician will run away from them because he knows what is happening. So we have a role, and that role, even if it's not recognized, we must recognize it for ourselves. Security mostly refers as protection from hostile forces. It has a wide range of other senses. For example, the absence of harm, availability of food. Some security challenges in the nation. BH, farmer herders clashes, kidnappers, robbery, pen robbery, gun robbery. All these are forms of robberies we have in the nation. Oil bunkering, IPOP, a number of crises in Plateau, Taraba, Benue, Zamfara, Kebbi, Niger. Niger is the worst now. And we have our imams from Niger, they are around too. Kaduna, among others. Insecurity. And you see, Allah has given us all the bounties in Nigeria. That's why some people used to say, Nigeria is the richest nation in the whole world, with intelligence, with resources. Allah says, وَضَرَبَ اللَّهُ مَثَلًا قَرْيَةً كَانَتْ آمِنَةً مُطْمَئِنَّةً يَأْتِيهَا رِزْقُهَا رَغَدًا مِنْ كُلِّ مَكَانٍ فَكَفَرَتْ بِأَنْعُمِ اللَّهِ فَأَذَاقَهَا اللَّهُ لِبَاسُ الْجُوعِ وَالْخَوْفِ بِمَا كَانُوا يَصْنَعُونَ. If you look at the picture of Nigeria, you will understand this verse as if it's talking to us. Even though it's revealed on Makkah. But it's not only Makkah, it's not specified to Makkah alone. It encompasses all nations that behave the same. In olden days, you see peace everywhere in this nation. You travel at night, you travel in the day, you go. But now, even in FCT, there are areas you are going to fear going. If generals, with apology to those who are our military personnel here, will be joining train from Abuja to Kaduna because of fear, they automatically are in trouble in this nation. Because of fear. I'm not saying all. They prefer to go by train than to go by road. Now, what remains of peace? Because these are the two mighty cities we are proud of. So, it is just a parable, a similitude of what has happened. We decided on our own to go into so many criminalities, then Allah tried and tempted us with the calamities and crises we are witnessing today. Insecurity also continue. Imam should serve as a role model in establishing peace in the society. Imam must continue to preach the importance of peace to their followers. Imam must expose anybody who want to destabilize the peace and the security of this nation. Imam must preach to the government, security agencies, to be proactive in dealing with the security challenges, e.g., issue of injustice, issue of unfairness, issue of lack of employment. All these actually are instruments that fuel insecurity in our nation. If a leader is not fair and just, if the budget are pocketed into some few individuals' pocket, I have to keep to the command given to me by the chairman. After all, he's my mentor and teacher. I will keep to time. I will keep to it, sir. Well, you can see on the screen some of the points. Imam must preach to the government. Shouldn't be coward of telling the government the truth, bitter truth, with examples. It's not underrating. It is discharging responsibility. You must also tell them you are part and parcel of this nation, so you want progress. Punishment. The authority should take punishing criminals very serious. Very, very serious. A man cannot punish anybody. The instrument of power is given to the leadership. You must use it decisively. That's why the Quran is not actually, it's a merciful book. It deals with criminals. Because when you don't deal with criminality will continue. Allah says in Ma'idah, إِنَّمَا جَزَاءُ الَّذِينَ يُحَارِبُونَ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ وَيَسْعَوْنَ فِي الْأَرْضِ فَسَادًا أَن يُقَتَّلُوا أَوْ يُصَلَّبُوا أَوْ تُقَطَّعَ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَأَرْجُلُهُم مِّنْ خِلَافٍ أَوْ يُنفَوْا مِنَ الْأَرْضِ ذَلِكَ لَهُمْ خِزْيٌ فِي الدُّنْيَا وَلَهُمْ فِي الْآخِرَةِ عَذَابٌ عَظِيمٌ. Now, this must be established. There will be no point for somebody to kidnap. Then after apprehending, getting him, and then you start making some noise. And some individuals abroad will be saying human right. What kind of human right? He has no right to go beyond his limitation. He has went beyond that. Then you deal with him publicly. If the authorities started killing publicly those who are criminals, don't bother the Western world. You should bother with your people. When you deal with them clearly, everybody will know actually his level. But when after kidnapping a number of individuals and then you start making noise, start going to court, at the end of the day, being bailed out, and all these criminals will come back to job. Allah will ask our leaders on this particular point of playing with justice when it comes to the issue of punishment. We are not saying Muslims should be spared. We are saying even Muslims should be showed as good examples. We are not saying this at all. We are a community of justice. Our Prophet ﷺ was so just that he said even if his daughter, Fatima, radiallahu anha, if she happened to steal, he will amputate her hand. Then we don't have that mercy that allow criminals to be flowing on the street. Solutions to insecurity, Surah Al-Ilafi Quraysh is a solution for لِيَعْبُدُوا رَبَّ هَذَا الْبَيْتِ. If you want security, we must worship Allah without associating partner unto him. If not, I'm telling you, so many forms, so many different actually acts of insecurity will be displayed in our society. Also, among what Allah has promised is that we must make sure our iman is sound. We should fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah will send us blessings. It's solution to insecurity. وَلَوْ أَنَّ عَلَى الْقُرَىٰ آمَنُوا وَاتَّقَوْا لَفَتَحْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ بَرَكَاتٍ. Not only barakah. Even if you don't know Arabic, when you hear barakat, you know it's a barakah and barakah and barakas. And this barakah is not limited to resources of the earth. The resources of the heaven, with some engineers, permit me to mention the biggest engineer in the hall, with even some engineers who not know the resources of the heaven. Because there are no gadgets to go and tell you these are the resources. Allah promised to send them down for us. Barakatim minas samai wal ardi walakin kadhabu fa'akadhnahum. Again, my elderly brothers, the issue of FCT Imam, which is key case study, I will take that in very, very short time. The history is there. The committee of FCT Imams was formed in the year 2004 through the effort of some few individuals and through some organizations. These are some of their experiences. Next page. At the initial stage, as mentioned above, it was monthly meeting, but later on, we have weekly meetings where teachings are taking place of different subjects in Usul al-Fiqh, in Tawheed, in Lugha, in Tafsir, in Musal al-Hadith. These are rotating weekly. Imams will come and sit, 60, 70, 100 imams who are going to sit down and listen to their colleague talking, and then after he must have finished, comments, explanations, interaction, corrections, all are being done with humbleness, respect to one another, with no actually any feeling that this man should be condemned or are prepared for him. No, everybody is happy to listen, and everybody is happy to accept corrections. from all classes of sects. Of course, there is no Shia in the Imam of the FCT. I don't know of other places, but we don't accommodate any Shiite because their doctrine, as you can see, is closer to that of the Jews, for those who really knows them. We have so many daughters being done in the achievements. You will see a number of things that have been achieved. Of course, the key I must mention in the achievement is that we have bakery. This Daura is funded by our 2 bakeries. One in Maraba, one in Kuje. We started off at Maraba because we don't have the money to buy land in the FCT. Maraba is our sketch in Nasarawa State, so we afford to buy the land, build the bakery. Bakery paid back its 17 million in 3 years. And the bakery has spent almost 11 years now. It means it has paid and paid and paid. It is through that bakery that another bakery is built now in FCT, not in the municipal. You know, we have 6 local government in Abuja, where Mr. President and Minister are, you cannot buy a land and build bakery by the imams. I am sure he will take this message to the minister. I could have loved his own seat. Then we go to our sketch, Kuje local government, we acquire a land, we build our bakery there. Where these 2 bakeries belong is worked to the imams of the FCT. In fact, when the market is booming, we don't earn more than 1.5 million a month as a profit. It is now that has reduced the profit to about 50% to 60%, based on market. So if we want to do any program of 5-7 million, we don't ask anybody. And that's what imam should do. And of course, we allow some of the imams to have shares in the Kuje bakery. So that at the end of the year, when dividends are being served, those who have their shares take their profit too. In conclusion, let me sincerely thank you all for listening. The best you could do to a brother, especially your younger brother here, when he's talking, you listen attentively. That is the best you can do. May Allah reward you for that. Permit me also to thank the representatives of the 19 state senior imams. They are really senior, because I know most of them, if not all of them. In fact, for them to leave their state, some of them on Jumat, some of them spend 3 hours in the airport, like the 2 delegates from Kebbi, Sheikh Mukhtar. He's the wali of Gwandu again. You can see 2 titles, but intending to come, not because of the cancellation of the flight. So we know the caliber of those who attended this program. We appreciate your positions. We don't have words to use in thanking you, but Allah is going to reward you. For attending this program, I must appreciate the leadership of the Army Imams, the Air Force Imam, the Navy Imam, the Police Imam, who are all in attendance. They are an ummah when you talk of the Imam of the Armed Forces. I equally thank the Committee of FCT Imams, CFII, for giving me this golden opportunity to interact with my elderly ones. Let me conclude by saying, and especially to thank the FCT Minister for his fatherly advice, support, encouragement, and all other distinguished guests who find time to be in this program. They are all our fathers. We know their positions when it comes to the issue of imams in the FCT. All I must have said today here of goodness are from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and all that I must have said of mistake are from my own humble self. I ask him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to overlook all my shortcomings in the generality of the Muslim Ummah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.